What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing. Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you feeling tonight? And what are you showing? Where do you come from? 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 Where are you going? What are you drinking tonight? Let's keep them flowing.
Sorry, what was that last thing you were saying there? And we're live with the download. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? We are joined by always a super panel of hosts, and we got the chat, which is not integrated into the stream because I didn't do that. But we're doing it now. So shout out to everybody in chat. We got Reaver the Beaver, Sanchez Gaming, SPG, Ray the Gaming Cyborg, Rouster. What's going on, everybody out there as well, listening on the VOD. And afterwards, we're about to break into a bunch of topics. Our review on Hellblade 2. As well as IGN is eating up all the news in the industry, as well as AI is taking over, and we've got 15 years left in humanity. So, without further delay, let's get into what's going on. And as always, we got a special original feature track coming at you at the end of the show.
Better not be about my mama. Better not be about my mama. That's all I gotta say.
All right, let's break into it. Let me turn up all the volumes on everybody here. And of course, I'm getting a phone call right now, but we're gonna have to screen that. Yeah, I'm good. Let's get on with everybody and what they've been gaming on today. Callie, what have you been gaming on this week?
Oh man, I've been back on the groove of Dead by Daylight. I've been playing that nonstop lately. All because I'm hyped for the Killer Clowns game that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So.
Noise. And how about yourself? Sorry, I'm getting calls in here. Wilson, let me know what's going on.
Playing the game of life and losing. What have I been playing this week? I've been trying out all the new games. So I haven't tried out Hellblade 2 yet, but I beat the first one the day that Hellblade 2 came out, and I've played a little X-Defiant, and something else dropped this week. I feel like something else has dropped this week, but I can't remember. Been playing a few games with you all, and I've been playing some Dead by Daylight with Callie. Yeah, just hanging out with you guys, playing all the games.
Nice. And what's been going on with you, SPG? What have you been up to and gaming on?
Man, not a whole lot. Playing a little bit of Fallout 4, trying to finish up that last little quick run that I'm doing of that. I jumped into X Defiant and I jumped into Warfare just a little bit, and my skills are lacking in both, sadly to say. But yeah, that's about all the gaming I've been doing.
Oh yeah. I was beside you in X Defiant and dying just as much, so I get what you're saying. What's going on, Ray? What have you been gaming on?
Well, I beat Hellblade 2. I've been playing X Defiant, and my brother's not enjoying it, but at the moment, I'm enjoying it. I got to go back in and see what's going on. And I can't talk about the game, but I did sign an NDA, and I've been playing the game since yesterday. That's pretty awesome. And that's what I've been up to. And Marvel Snap.
Nice, nice. Well, without further delay, let's get into the big game of the month, and that is Hellblade 2. We have it here on screen. No, that isn't a cutscene. That is what the game looks like. This is a obviously jaw-dropping experience when it comes to visuals. What they did was they created a game that looks like a cutscene from beginning to end. And you got to give them kudos for that sort of technological leap. Now, whether or not you're on rails the entire game, you can't really interact with what's really around you. You're more, I would akin it to a VR experience in the aspects of gameplay. However, just because you do the bare minimum of what qualifies as gameplay doesn't disqualify it from being a game. And we're going to break it up to the panel to see what they think, who's had their experiences, what you felt watching through it. Let the people know your experience also with the first one as well. So, Callie, I'm not sure you've experienced the game, but if you'd like to give some thoughts on it, I'll open it up to you.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to play it yet, but I do want to say though that it looks amazing from the gameplays that I have seen, and I do look forward to playing it when I get a chance.
Nice, nice. Wilson, do you want to give your synopsis? I know you have a perspective on the fact it's more of a experience than even more leaning towards
I'm
an
hearing.
experience than even a game, and how it simulates, or a case study is what you called it. I won't take all your words.
Yeah, I see it like a case study, right? So it's it's very much built like a game, okay, but it's 6 hours. It's very linear. You can even turn off the combat, so it's done automated. The thing is, it's kind of like, any of you's played Assassin's Creed Discovery mode, right? Where you're just in the world that they built, and it's a historical adventure. It's kind of used as a tool for education, and I think if anything, this Hellblade 2 and even Hellblade 1 could be used the same type of way. It's a case study on what psychosis would look like, specifically from a Viking's perspective. Or is she a Viking? Is she a druid? I'm not 100% sure. She's a druid, right?
Well, she doesn't change into animals. What are you talking about?
Well, you don't have. Oh my god, bro. Anyway, yeah, I think it's very much just an example of psychosis, and there's a lot of people who are expecting a lot out of this game. To be fair, I was expecting more out of this game, and from what I'm hearing of it, it hasn't developed its combat systems a lot. It hasn't got that deeper story in terms of like, oh, this is amazing to follow. I'm crying, I'm laughing. It's not that type of jaw-dropping story. It's just really intriguing for people who are interested in psychology, who are interested in mental health issues. But yeah, it's definitely not hit expectations like we all thought it was going to, right? But I think there is a reason for that. I'll finish it with this. I very much feel like we were expecting this to be Xbox's next big project, their next big AAA blockbuster game. Big action-packed drama, all this, and it's kind of turned out to be more of a very well-funded passion project. Do you know what I mean? But that's not what any of us saw it was going to be, and I think that's why there's a lot of letdown. It came across like a well-funded indie instead of what we thought it was going to be, the blockbuster that Xbox kind of advertised it as.
Right. It's got an indie gameplay feel, but it looks like a AAA game. So there's that gap in sort of
Disconnect in a way, kind of.
disconnect. Perfect. Yeah.
Mhm.
And what the experience should be in terms of what it looks like. Does anyone else want to give thoughts, opinions?
I do. I want to touch on what David said. So, I played through half of the first one. I'm not going to play the second. I watched somebody play through it. It's basically a 3D spatial audio, high fidelity video interactive experience. It's less than what you would call a traditional game. David's exactly right. The character's interesting. The mental health aspect of it is interesting. Um, and the fidelity of everything that they packed into it with the Unreal 5 engine and all that stuff is really, really cool. But for me, I'm not going to download the game and play through it for pretty visuals. I'm not going to do that. I think it may have been better off as a movie. This section of the story, I'm saying. I'm not saying there shouldn't be a Hellblade 2. But maybe this section of the story should have been a CG movie that was released or something. I don't know. But I didn't play it, Rudix. You did. So what do you think of my thoughts?
I think like any sequel faces, it has issues having the same gravity and the same weight. There are two things that I will give away without spoil. Okay, this is spoiler free. So, one, the story did not hit as hard as the first one. And that is a tricky thing to do because the story was so amazing in the first one. It connected to somebody so well in the first one. And the second thing, which now I've completely forgot, but yes, ask me and then maybe I'll remember.
I was just gonna say, do you think that the second one isn't as exciting because it's kind of just following the same? It's doing the same thing as the first one was, and since we've already played the first one, it just didn't feel like anything new.
Okay, I remember now.
The first one was groundbreaking.
It needs more throat singing. There was not nearly as much throat singing as there was in the first one. Like, I remember the first one was like, oh my, like intense in the battles. This one is like a clear lack of throat singing. And I want to highlight that for anyone who's played it.
Okay, can I get in here, please? And
Yeah.
You and your throat. Wow.
Yeah, was that a euphemism?
I think it was, but so I did beat the game, and there's some things that I do agree with David with, some things I don't agree with David, and Sanchez. I see him in there. Sanchez loves the game, but the audio was amazing. The visuals are amazing. The story, now David said there was not too much to the story. I actually thought it was. I liked the story. I followed the story. I won't spoil it, but I thought it was a good story. And I'm telling you, it's all with the audio, hearing the voices, the evil voices. The headphones play it's a major part of this game. I mean, they even tell you in the beginning of the game, put your headphones on and crank it up. As far as gameplay, there's really, and I'm just being honest, there's really not really that much like gameplay. It's just puzzles and certain scenes that jump scare. I mean, I jumped when I had one of the other warriors jump out on the screen. I jumped. So I'm kind of torn because I do love the graphics and the audio, but you gotta look, when you play this game, you gotta go in with an open mind. It's not a first person swinging swords and fighting. I mean, you do swing the swords at certain times and stuff, but not a whole lot. But I gave the game an 8 out of 10, and the reason why, because I understand the story, I understand what they were trying to do with this, and that's what I agree with David, what they tried to do with the game, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a couple of I think I finished it in a couple of days, and I enjoyed it because I knew it wasn't going to be a swinging, fighting, slashing game. Just like to me, it was like Scorn and Death Stranding with Attack of the Titans, and I'll just leave it at that. But thank you.
I will say it definitely gets points for having some of the best photo mode I've seen to date, and I experiment in a lot of the photo modes. Absolutely breathtaking shots that it allows you to do. Here's one of my shots here. Like, I just felt like being in the... I spent half of the time of my gameplay in the photo mode. Just grabbing different shots, different moments. Nothing was off limits. In the middle of cutscenes, you could rotate the cameras, you could add lights. Very, very visually heavy. And if you are a photo mode junkie, this was a game for you. I can't wait until we cross this threshold and get more games just looking like this as a standard for me to jump into photo mode with. But I guess what I will say is that I'm impressed, and I'd like to see how this thing ran on an Xbox Series S, because you'd think with the intense graphics of Unreal Engine 5, that thing would just explode in Chapter 3. So it is impressive that they're able to get that on the hardware.
I agree. I actually played it on my Xbox Series X. Then I hopped over on my PC, played it on the cloud. Then I played it on my PC, and then I played it on GFN. I think the best experience, in just my opinion, that I had fun with was playing it on GFN, and definitely the photo mode. I mean, beautiful stuff you're putting out there, Rue. But us gamers, we like to play games. We like to cut off body parts flying, and graphics and stuff like that. Which you do see scenes of her taking her sword and hacking and slashing, and it looks amazing, the battle scenes. But actually, some of it is not you doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you often are confused whether or not you're doing anything, or if the game is just playing out in front of you. There's no weapon, there's no prompts or anything like that. It's more of an experience, like you said, and that's how it is. It's an indie title that had a goal, like Dorgon's saying. They were trying to explore psychosis on this backdrop of this different time for humanity. And I think they did that well in their experience. So the fact that they were able to get the budget to boost the graphics up this high, I think is pretty cool for everybody on that small little team. I think this is a dream come true for Hellblade when it first started out, and I get what you're saying, and I can give them Ninja Theory their kudos for what they were able to accomplish. However, there is a disconnect. When we see graphics this good, we want more gameplay, we want hours of time, we want more experiences, bigger bosses, more mechanics.
Right.
But you're not going to get that.
But would you say
it's an indie experience?
Well, Rude, can you, like Dorgon's question? But did they succeed with what they were trying to do? He's asking me, but we can also ask the panel. We blast so many other titles for trying to do things and failing. Can we give points here if it's trying to do things?
No, Dorgon.
I have another question, which is the same question, but
I think Dorgon's onto something there. They did succeed in their artistic vision for psychosis and all of that. In my opinion, I didn't like the first one to where you loved it. I think they succeeded in all of that, but they failed in making it a very enjoyable or fun game for me. So I didn't even finish the first one. That's just my opinion, though.
How did you say about Dev? Oh, go ahead, David.
It's kind of a different way of phrasing Dorgon's question. Would you kind of say it's a win for the developers, but it's a loss for the publishers? Like, it's a win for the people who made Hellblade, but it's a loss for Xbox because it didn't get people in the way that they hoped it was going to, or it was kind of misadvertised.
Now you're talking about something else, actually, because it was released onto Game Pass day and date. So people didn't have to go lay their $50 down to have this experience.
See, but you know what? It's just, look, when you go into a restaurant, they put the menu right sometimes in the front window, and you read the menu, and you're gonna see what you're gonna get. So, I mean, guys, it is what it is. I mean, this is what the game is, and you have to go in. See, I already knew I wasn't, from what I read and from what I played, this is, and just like, Sanchez says, Hellblade 2, it's not an Elder Ring, it's not a Spider-Man. And I get that. I enjoyed believe it or not, the story and her intrigued me. The people that she met in the story. And the puzzles. There is this puzzles. I'm happy that I actually usually when I do puzzle games, I can't figure it out, and I'm just like I'm done with it. I've actually helped people with their puzzles in the game, and hey, I can say, you know what? I figured out
Ray
the
helped
puzzles and I
me.
beat the game. Yes,
Ray
I
helped
did.
me. I was like,
Yes.
Ray, just tell me where to go on this puzzle.
I did. I told you to focus on the balls. I said focus on the balls, Rudiggs. Focus on the balls.
And then he got it done.
I do want to add one thing though. I enjoyed Hellblade's last documentary they did for their game, and I look forward to the one for this one. I really do.
Have you got one for this one as well? Another special feature.
If they do one, I feel like they should. Because I would like to know more into the
Yeah, and
all of this
honestly,
part.
I just feel like the story was the weakest part because the Hellblade 1 story was so emotionally driven and I could connect to it. And this one was like band of brothers. And like I don't care. Like I want to do everything like
So I have a theory on your lack of love for this story, and it's that you've said it before. That now you're into this community of game, and like we all have been for a couple of years, you're a lot more critical of games than you were a couple of years ago. And didn't you play Hellblade originally a couple of years ago, Hellblade 1? So wouldn't you have been able to just enjoy that experience for what it was more? Whereas now you've got expectations for it to push the needle, for it to be better and different and all that type of stuff. Does that kind of give you a bit of an internal bias? It's just a theory.
Well, I will just say I feel like the fact that your
I
husband
1,000%
died,
agree with Sanchez. Read
and
Sanchez's comment.
Okay, Hellblade 2 is art. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
a-
it is.
it's
And
a-
they got
you know what,
Xbox
though?
to flip, Microsoft to flip the bill and make it look like this,
If
and
anything-
become
if anything,
a
this-
topic of conversation. But go right, sorry.
Dude, sorry, and I'm cutting through you. I'm sorry, bro. I love redemption stories. I don't want to throw no spoilers out, but to me, you have a woman that was a slave on a ship that crashed, and she had to change people's minds, and a lot of people just didn't understand her, and she had to change the norm. I'm just gonna say that. And this is such a good, like I said, follow the story, follow what's going on, and
Sweet Baby Inc.
her challenge, what she had to do. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, put a woman in it and make her gay. So, that's just what I didn't feel was as hard hitting. I just feel like the story was mid. I love the story of the first one because where in history have you heard cutting off your dead husband's head, carrying it around with you on your back, and you're talking to him? Like, that emotional trauma is just with you the entire time. And I felt like this game didn't have that same pull for me. But that's just my storytelling preferences.
I say there was a lot of polarities between Hellblade and God of War 2018 because I played that only about a month or two ago, and obviously same area, same mythology that it's focusing on, and the whole idea of carrying a head around that's explaining what's going on and setting this Norse world, they're not similar at all in a lot of ways, but there was just a lot of There were a lot of similarities that I didn't expect between the two games. Do you know what I mean? Very interesting playing those two different renditions of a Norse mythology back to back, or Norse history.
Just focus
Yep.
on the story about the giants. That's all I'm going to say. The giants. The
Yeah,
giants.
no,
the
I
giants.
didn't feel it was as powerful for me. But Dorgon brings up a point. Ninja Theory's future gets cemented, right? They get another installment confirmed, but Hi-Fi nailed it and they got shut down.
Yeah.
It's just the direction and what's going on at Microsoft and how people take their coffee in the mornings, Ray. I feel like a bunch of Rays are in charge in Microsoft.
Or it's how maybe that guy closed the door and did something with his boss and got down on his knees and says, "Okay, I'm gonna pick you." I mean, could be like that, Rue.
Well,
See, Sanchez has mentioned these lore stones a couple of times. If they're anything like the one from the first game, that they were amazing in the first game, giving you extra dynamic to the story, giving you extra background, and giving you so Norse mythology. It's like any other Greek mythology and things like that. They are stories. They are meant to be enjoyable things to listen to, but they've got an analogy behind them. And the way that they did the lore stones in the first one, I don't know if it's the same in the second, it was amazing. It very much did that. It gave you a good taste of Norse myth that you were interested in, where you were invested in the end of this chapter's piece of lore because you wanted to know what happened to this giant or what happened to this ancient mythical being. It was really cool.
David, thank you. Because that's what brought me in. That's what brought me in.
Yeah. The lore stones are awesome. Awesome. I love it. Love a bit of myth.
Anyone else on some closing thoughts for Hellblade before we move on? I know we've spent some time in the Blade of Hell.
I thought we would.
All right. Good. So this will be a blip on Xbox's resume for the year. I think it'll definitely hit art direction. Unfortunately,
Love you,
here's two things.
And
it
sound
won't
direction.
be a topic of conversation next week because everyone will have beaten the game and it's over. Number two, it'll be the new standard for we'll be like, oh, well, does it look like Hellblade 2? Does it look better than Hellblade 2? I think that's what it did, and it may have cemented itself in being the graphic fidelity pinnacle of today's video game.
You and SPG have been calling it very much like a test demo for Unreal 5 since it came out, right? Like I keep calling it a case study, but you guys see it very much in the same way, but a different side of it. It's a test demo for what Unreal 5 could do.
No. What I'm saying is if you're saying that this is a captivating video game, I say no. I agree with Sanchez that it's art. People can look at that art and judge it by that alone and say, oh my God, it was this wonderful experience. But when it breaks it down to holding the controller, hitting buttons, trying to interact with the environment, trying to like these things for a lot of gamers will be missing in this. I'm not trying to degrade the experience at all because that's what it is. I'm just saying it's hard for me to come out and say it's a great game when I didn't even finish the first one, and it is a very artistic experience, and they hit a lot of high notes and they do a lot of things well.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people didn't understand Death Stranding. Everybody said it was a walking simulator, and it won an award. And it was, it got, I mean, it's a different game. And if people play it and they go in, it is what it is. And
yeah. So take that as an example, though. We're getting a Death Stranding 2, and what did they do? They took the world and the mechanics that they had before, and then they built on top of it. Do you feel, Rudigs, that they did that, or did they not? Or was that part of the artistic impression was to not do those things?
No, the only thing they pushed forward was graphic fidelity. I mean, story-wise, it was like filler if they're telling a grand arc of schemes, but I feel like they didn't have the same weight as the storytelling devices they did in the first one.
One more thing.
That, everything is the exact same as the first one. There was
nobody mentioned this.
Forward.
You mentioned the graphics, but one thing that nobody mentioned during our discussion of Hellblade 2 is the animations for the faces. You see so much more of the actresses' emotions with these facial animations, and those are stunning. They definitely pushed the fidelity part forward. Like you really see their acting.
Yeah, it's like Starfield.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Chuck E. Cheese? Wait, I'm confused.
No, you can tell the difference in the facial animations. This is what Todd Howard was advertising, essentially. And Starfield is what you got.
Tell me lies.
Which seems like the conclusion is, though, that there was a lot of expectations that were missed, but it also hit a lot in a different way. It's not what anyone was or not what a lot of people were expecting. But it is more of the first game. If you like the first game, then this is going to be more of that.
Yeah. Well, I think we got another 5 to 10 minutes out here. And Maker, what are you up to, man? Hop in the chat. You know you're more than welcome. And anyone else, we're hanging out in Cyborg City. Hit the description
in the link
below.
Shout out to the Cowboy just jumped in here.
Yeah, shout out to Cowboy and Now Your Mama Knows Family Cloud Gaming. What up, what up? I know you've been repping the right characters in chat. We got Doragon. That's right. I mean, Eve and Aloy over. Okay, so channel. Eve or Senua?
What exactly, Brew? Because the answer's obvious if you're asking the question that we all think you're asking.
I don't know. Maybe Ray's into it.
Ray's into a lot of things, buddy.
All right, we'll move on here. We'll move on here to the next news segue. This is just a small story because I know many of you in the chat may have a Stadia controller. You can play wirelessly with Bluetooth if you choose to do so. You have 7 months left to enable it on that controller. So if that's sitting there and you haven't yet done it and you're procrastinating, you got 7 months left to procrastinate. All right, everybody? So there it is.
I felt personal. I felt very personal.
My plan is to never do it. So that's just how I'm going to do it moving forward.
I've got a few controllers. I'm going to do it with one of them eventually, if I remember in time.
I think I got two controllers that did that.
I've got a whole one still. The controller, the Chromecast, all of it still all wrapped up. I'm going to hold on to that for like 30 years and then probably sell it for a pack of smokes.
Yep.
Talking about that's going to be in the gaming
Family Cloud
Museum.
Gaming has got 4 in the box.
Yeah, that's
wow, there you go.
And I got one.
Wow,
I got one still sealed.
Nice.
That's nice,
dude. I'm looking for wasabi. I'm looking for wasabi.
I'll sell you my wasabi, Ray.
Okay.
I said wasabi, the color.
That's what I said. I will sell you my wasabi.
I know it's your keyword for something else, and no thank you, no diddy.
Okay, let's move on to what's going on next here. What am I gonna pull up here? So Stadia, 7 months. Everybody knows it. Get it changed if you plan to play with it. I myself am just gonna keep it for a relic. I don't think I'll change it over. But here we had a Call of Duty Black Ops 6 official trailer, The Truth Lies, which is a oxymoron or a paradox, because how can the truth lie? And here is... What?
Yeah, you were right with it. It was an oxymoron. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So here is the trailer, and what did you call this, SPG? FF...
What? I called it a lot of things.
No, with the official name for the file. FFV or something.
Oh, FMV.
FMV. Yeah, so we have an FMV trailer. What the vibe gives me here is that Black Ops 3, or sorry, 6, I don't know where I'm going with it in my mind here, will have you playing as Antifa, or some sort of, like, anti-terrorist street gang here. Because you're doing essentially... like pranks, I don't know, hijinks on the government establishment. What are your thoughts? Call of Duty again, coming out with new stuff, like they always do every single year. People will buy it, people will play it.
Still waiting for the 2-year, 3-year gap that they said they were gonna do for the next
Well,
game?
This one has taken a break, right? Because Treyarch, the last one they made was Cold
Cold
War.
War. Yep.
So it's been a couple. We've had 3 years of Modern Warfare now, and now we're coming back to the Black Ops. So it's
I guess
almost
because
like
it has Call of
the
Duty in the
Infinite
name is
Ward.
why.
Yeah, got screwed over a bit by pumping out all their stuff year after year.
Well, it always used to be that they took turns, wasn't it? It used to
Yeah.
be that you would one year get the Infinity Ward game, the next year get the Treyarch game, but they've been on hiatus for the past. When did Cold War come out? Was that 2020 or 2021? Something like that.
2010 is the first Black Ops. Sorry, what are you saying?
No, the last one that came out, Cold War, was that 2020?
2020.
Yeah.
So it's been 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I always loved the Black Ops games. This is an unpopular opinion, but my favorite zombie games that have ever existed are the Call of Duty zombie games. I love Call of Duty Zombies. And they're my favorite zombie games, so I
Lots
can't
of
wait for the
people
next
love
installment
those,
of that.
bro.
Yeah.
Bro, my nephew loved Call of Duty Zombies, man.
I love it. Loved it. Oh, me and my friends grew up playing those. We used to do all the Easter eggs. Is it Maxis and Richtofen? Is that what they were? The
Yes.
Maxis and Richtofen Easter eggs. We used to do
Yeah.
all of those for every
Zombies.
single map. Mm-hmm. Oh, I loved that, bro. Loved Call of Duty Zombies. So I might even get this one. If they've got a zombies mode in it.
Well, hopefully it's not open world DMZ like the last one they
Oh,
did.
don't ruin don't ruin
Well,
it
that's
for me.
why I hate these teasers, because they tell you nothing except, hey, it's coming. Well, I mean, I don't know.
It's slightly off topic, but did any of you play all the different Black Call of Duty Zombies? Which were your favorites?
The original.
Me and my son. I love playing with my son when he was younger, and I agree, the originals. Yeah.
World at War
Which-
or Black Ops 1?
Which Black Ops had at the end? You had a guy in a Vietnamese trap in the ground. Which Black Ops was that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Vietnamese Trap in the ground.
Yeah, some
Or
character.
like a hole in the ground.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, I don't remember.
I think it was Black Ops 2. I think. I'm not
I think
sure.
it was
Okay.
2. I think it's 2 he's talking about.
Oh, hey.
Well, I remember levels like Moon, which was iconic. The one with all the presidents, I remember was
5.
an iconic one.
Mhm.
The
I love
theater-
Transit, the one with the bus where you could go
Oh,
around all the
that was
different
huge.
maps.
That was
I
so
loved it
massive.
though. It was so cool.
A lot
And then
of great
Buried or
memories.
Buried.
As long, you know what? As long as they just don't ever do Call of Duty in space, I'm cool.
Yeah, they did that. So the EXO, that was the Moon.
Yeah, too late. Too late.
As long as they don't do another one. I mean another one. Another
And
one.
then the exosuits was another great installment. They had
Actually,
Bill Paxton
Hey,
and Sarah
I was
Michelle
good with
Gellar.
the exosuit.
Hey, the
I
future
was
when-
good with the exosuit.
No, man. When Call of Duty went in the future, no, I was good on that. I didn't check that out at all. I checked out.
2065.
I was good on the with the exosuit, man.
All right. Well, let's jump into the next one. Sony Creative Entertainment Vision has released what technology of entertainment will look like in the next 10 years, I believe. So they showed prototypes off of new PlayStations, people creating a game, movie, and media. If you haven't seen it already, it looks pretty awesome and cool. The PlayStation controller of the future definitely looks awesome. Oh, I popped up Callie's article right there.
You know what they
But
forgot to show? They forgot to show that AI was going to take all those jobs, and she was going to be unemployed by the end of it.
Yeah, so pretty cool. Although you always see these interactive meta spaces happening, yet I've never known anything to ever work like this. And why are they all wearing the same like beige clothing? And they're all like strategically of different races. Anyways, these commercials always trip me out.
That's how communism's going to evolve in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the evolution of society.
Like
Grey
they're all
clothes,
wearing
melting pot.
beige button overs. But yeah.
Dude, this is scary. I'm
It is a
getting
little
scared.
touchy, isn't it? Now you've said
I'm
that.
getting scared. What are we gonna be
Look
cold?
at the new cell phone of the future, and look at the new PlayStation here. I'll pause it off here. That's PS8 right there.
Oh my god.
That's the new
That's
PlayStation
insane.
Portal. So
Hey
you
man, I
have
want a
screen
floating
there.
screen.
Yeah, I assume you'll be wearing glasses that pair with this to sort of create the
Oh.
screen.
Project it.
No,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, they're gonna give you Sony eyeballs.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's gonna be like Cyberpunk, and you're all gonna need to. What's the term? I forget now. But there was a term that you had to do in Cyberpunk. But yeah,
Wait a
pretty
minute.
cool stuff. I like the seeing a glimpse into the future, and
No cartridges.
obviously
It's
we're
all
getting
digital?
a new IP, Ignition. So this is a brand new game, obviously Sony exclusive, so we can look forward to that.
Hey, there we go. Sony's always doing well with their exclusives. Have Sony had any bad exclusives in recent years? Because you only ever hear about like their big amazing ones, don't you?
They seem to show some sort of collaboration off with Ghostbusters and with Horizon.
I agree,
so that
Nerd
was
Swirl.
interesting. The Days Gone was obviously discontinued. That was their last one that went sort of south, although a lot of people did enjoy Days Gone. Forspoken is kind of like a collaboration.
Spoken was mixed, yeah, kind of mixed reviews. Well, actually, it got terrible reviews, but after that, people started to appreciate it a few months later, right?
Yeah, because, you know, people are haters by default. We all know that.
Yeah, like yourself.
Oh, yeah, I'm a huge
Yep.
hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do we think? Okay, this is for Ray in the panel. I know you're going to know about this one, but Atari and Intellivision have made a partnership. Well, it seems that actually Atari has acquired Intellivision's brand and gaming library. Is there anything you can tell me about Intellivision and Atari? Like, I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, because you guys are old and we're young, so you might understand it more than we do.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify why he's asking you, Ray. I just wanted to clarify.
First of all, they're just making fun of my age, but you know what? You will be here one day. But, dude, they got a lot of retro IPs, man. Some of the games that I grew up playing, and I think that's a win because Atari, you know, they have their retro IP games, and they can some of these games they can update it and put it out there. I like Atari. Look what Atari did, and it was on Stadia. They when they did some reboots of their games, they're gonna probably do the same thing with Intellivision. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, it seems like Atari may make a comeback. I can see them definitely making some sort of retro handheld. I think that would do extremely well. But other than Stadia, I haven't really seen them make too much of a move other than their sort of revamped series, which I feel hasn't got too much more of a spotlight since now we have more things to play now that we're not locked into Stadia.
If you had what is it, Amazon Games, and your free games, there was, I think, what, last year, I mean, they were pumping out a lot of Atari games, and I was claiming them. And you can play them on your PC.
Atari re-released a bunch of their old IPs during the time they released their VCS console.
Right.
And I believe that this move is most likely to move the whole Intellivision library over to the VCS to be able to play it on it, and possibly revamp some of the older titles in a new refresh like they did with like Black Widow Recharged and some of the others.
Nice. Definitely could be the strategy for them. I'd like to hear more from the old Atari systems and getting into some better game making. So I definitely enjoyed playing their titles on Stadia, and I look forward to them doing more.
I remember, and I'll just throw this up. My cousin had like an Intellivision console, and I remember us playing way past midnight, playing games that were boxes and cubes and weird, just the weird 8-bit graphics and stuff. It was just insane. But Classics, man. Classics.
All right,
Classics.
let's touch on one of the headlines I have for the show before we run out of time, and that is the IGN Entertainment acquires Eurogamer, GI, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and more. So what is IGN doing? Because they are acquiring all the Gamer Network family and all of their digital brands. It looks like they are sort of creating a monopoly, making sure that one message gets through and one message only. I mean, that's how I see this, is a strategic takeover of how gaming reporting will be done. What do people think about this move? And will you still trust IGN's reporting as much as everyone here trusts the IGN reporting?
Now let's keep it. Let's keep it a buck, man. When you have a company and they take over something, they break it up. So some of these Euro gamers, some of these GI, they're not going to be around. They're probably going to be fired. Unfortunately, there'll probably be people getting fired. They'll probably move people around and stuff. That's what I see. This is when they do a takeover like this. And
Yep. Anyone else have any thoughts? Do you think we'll maintain independence, or do you think this is going to become one solo voice for the masses?
I hate centralization, but it's something that's happening more and more in the modern world, right? There's not a lot you can do to fight against it. We saw that last year with Microsoft's acquisition. So, what's going to happen with IGN acquiring a few different entertainment news companies? Not a lot.
I think the
sadly.
issue's bigger than all that. I think that what's journalism? we don't have that anymore, in my opinion. So, and that's in any like the news for mainstream news, whatever.
Just honest, bias gaming journalism, not fanboys and people that are just gonna review bomb something because they worship some other console or something. Just give it to us honestly and be open. That's what I want.
They would all take note to actually report the news and not try to push some kind of agenda as well. Like, just stick with the games, man. Talk about what we all want to talk about instead of, crazy stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy to see, but I guess we'll trust these reviews even less than we do so now. Let's get into the technology news before we talk about nothing technology, because we like to touch on some tech on the show here. Elon Musk predicts smarter than human AI in 2 years. However, the CEO of China, Baidu, says it's 10 years away, and Baidu is one of China's biggest technology firms, and so that's what give him sort of the inside information. I assume the CEO is the Elon Musk of China, so that's why they're quoting him here. But essentially what I'm reading here is humanity's got about 15 years on a good forecast before AI has taken over every asset, manipulated things in ways we can't see, social engineering. What do you think is happening here? Will we put a stop to AI, or was the day ChatGPT released Judgment Day?
Well, when we're giving mass power, we make a nuclear bomb, and then we use it. So I think AI could get out of control. I think it's very possible. I think some of our intelligence agencies could have different models than we even know about. So it's an interesting thought, but I do think that for most mundane tasks, it's going to be curtains for all kinds of industry, all kinds.
I think what's going to happen is, like, they'll probably make a Model 01 and it's going to take over the world, and it's going to take a T800 to get beamed back into the planet and save us and look for the chosen one.
Wow, so you should make a movie about that.
Yeah.
The chosen one was Ray, the gaming cyborg.
Terminator. Dude, come on, man. That sounds like something from the damn Terminator, dude. The Model 01 fighting the T800. You know, the cop versus the liquid cop versus Arnold
but
Schwarzenegger. That's what I'm getting. Those are the vibes I'm getting.
So listen, for what we understand, there's no AI to be fearful of at this second. Meaning that a lot of these AIs are algorithms like stitched together. They have the only information they're allowed to have. But as soon as they create something that can think for itself, that can be scary because it's going to get intelligent. It's not going to have a lifespan, and it's going to learn way faster. It's going to, like, its whole subconscious could be the internet. That's a scary thought. But on the other hand, just the AI we have today, the way that they have a data set that they can learn from and get better, like just that alone, as soon as they're able to build a hand that moves just like mine and that AI can run that hand and do the tasks that I could do, it's over for a lot of us. I don't know what that looks like. And the reason I say that is because I saw it in the automotive industry. Detroit used to be booming, and it used to employ all kinds of people that built cars. Now machines do it, and they hire a handful of people to repair those machines.
And not to mention, where the AI are gathering their knowledge is a cesspool of horrible comments. Like, they are learning from the internet, and the internet is like that bowl of cereal you left under your bed when you were 16, and now you're 35 and you're going home to see your old bedroom and no one's moved it. Like, it's not a great place to learn from. And that's where AI is going to grab all of its behavior and analysis of humanity. So that right off the bat is scary to think about.
To that point, I was reading an article this morning. Let me see if it's still on the top of my Google. Yeah, it is. Okay. From the BBC, this was posted this morning. Glue pizza and eat rocks. Google AI search errors go viral. Google's new artificial intelligence search feature is facing criticism for providing erratic, inaccurate answers, such as telling people how to make cheese stick to pizza better by using non-toxic glue. That was
I'm glad you
suggestion.
clarified.
Yeah. Cheese can be made to stick to pizza better, according to AI by using non-toxic glue. They also said that geologists recommend humans eat 1 rock a day. This is Google's latest AI.
No.
So,
like, how big of a rock, though? Because you got to listen to geologists. Like, are we talking
I don't know.
about
Go ask
small?
Gemini, bro. Oh God, yeah, ridiculous. So
I
yeah,
don't
right
want to
now
know
we don't have a lot to
what
worry
urologists recommend daily.
about.
But that is crazy. Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve, but in 10 years, I think they'll get that the way they want to, and then will be the end of humanity. So everybody get what you want sorted in the next 15 years.
Yeah, that's why I ain't
Rudy,
got
did you
long,
see-
dude. I ain't got long.
Did you see the bit of news that I sent you in your DM?
Yes, let's try to quick fire through these before we get to the end. Some stories. Nintendo announces plans for official store in San Francisco in 2025 Union Square. So the hub of people sniffing their farts, according to South Park, is is getting a Nintendo store. They'll be able to green pipe, level up, and piranha bite all their way to the Sony Switch 2. I look forward to it.
Ooh, I can't wait to snatch and grab a Switch 2.
Any other news stories before we hit the
I don't
door?
know about news stories, but it's probably worth mentioning. There's been a few new battle passes released recently. Dead by Daylight just had an update. Fortnite's just had an update that includes Fallout is going to be in the latest battle pass. None of you care about this, but Chivalry's just had an update.
All right, so Xbox claims that a new console will launch in 2026, just in time for GTA 6. Yeah, this is SPG's fear-mongering of GTA 6 only being released on next-gen console is getting closer and closer to the firmament here. It may be true.
I'm telling
because if we get one delay from GTA, that's it. It can easily just pop on as a launch title to these next gen consoles, and that's where
And
we
they can
are
sell
one delay away
bundles.
from. Yep. Crazy stuff, I think. But definitely the way we could do it, and we'll keep you updated. But yeah, that may be right. GTA may be a next gen only. We'll see. Guys, any closing thoughts for the download? What are you guys up to this week? I'll give you closing thoughts and what you're up to. Callie, go for it.
Tonight I shall be streaming some. I'm gonna try Dead by Daylight on Boosteroid. So if you guys want to come on by, I'll be streaming 9 p.m. Mountain Time. That'd be 11 Eastern.
Nice. And David Willie Wilson, aka Billy Elliot, dance us off here.
I'm not going to be up to much. Just I'm going to check out Hellblade 2 this weekend. I'm going to check out Hellblade 2. I'm waiting for Multiversus. That's due to drop in the next few days. The Smash Bros type game, but with Warner Bros IP.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And I'm going to try and endure a bit more X-Defiant, but honestly, I think I'm done with that game, man. I think I'm done with it. It's so sweaty.
Oh, and South Park. We got a new special, so everybody be sure to watch that so we can all joke with each other.
Yeah, we're going to be watching that this weekend. Might even play the South Park Snow Day. Got an update this week as well, alongside the special being released. So I might play a little bit of that this weekend. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice. And what do you got going on, SP Jizzle?
Not much, man. It's storming here today, so it's raining real hard, and then it's switching to snow and back to like sleet. So yeah, it's really nice. But I would like to put this statement out there to the AI overlords. I did not mean any offense at all. Don't come for me.
Yeah, they know what you've been saying, SPG. It's too late for you. And make your peace now.
Yeah, but yeah, don't have much going on, man. Not today anyway.
Cool. And Ray, let people know. I'm sure this weekend we got some car crashing.
Yeah, tomorrow night, what is it? 10 p.m. Pacific time. I will be doing Wreckfest on Ray 3473 Twitch TV. And I'm trying out this new game that is in alpha. That's pretty cool. And I'm looking at this World War II game, and I'm about to pull the plug, and I'm about to go kill some people in X Defiant. That's what I got planned.
Nice. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out on the panel today. It's been appreciated. And thank you everybody in chat. I am going to play us out with a new song in tradition. And remember, David and Callie gave me the prompts for this song. All right, guys, I'm going to play us out.
It's about...
Okay, what are we doing here? Here it is. Let's play us out here. All right, we got to get the sound right because that sound was not right. All right, everybody here, we're going to have an awesome... Here we go. Pump up the sound. We're jamming. It's called Ray and SPG's Battle.
SPG, they're a dynamic duo, but when it comes to being bottom, it's a real yo-yo. They're always fighting, trying to take control, but they both want the same thing deep down in their soul. Ray says, I wanna be on top, the one who's in charge, but SPG ain't backing down. He's ready to barge, they're both so stubborn, neither one will concede. It's a battle of wills, a struggle you wouldn't believe. Ray's got fire in his eyes, he's a force to be reckoned, but SPG's got that determination. He's not easily beaten, they're like two bulls in a ring, ready to clash, but in the end, they both wanna love that last.
All right, guys, this has been the download this week. Thanks for coming on by. Woo! You chat have been epic. We'll see you next week at the same time. All right, everyone, take care and be kind.
Ray's got fire in his eyes. He's a force to be
Grove. Grove. Why try to believe in me? Why try, do I even need to? I die with the season leaves. I glide with the season breeze. True, my mind so easily spooked. I ride just to be the me who finds hype super decently smooth. Nice type, but a sick